Namaste to all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Truth is like oil. It always floats on the surface, no matter how much you try to sink it or hide it. The truth will eventually rise. Today, we are going to hear the story of King Harishchandra of the Solar dynasty, who is the supreme symbol of honesty and sacrifice. This inspiring history is described in the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, seventh chapter. Imagine the helpless state of a father who, due to a cruel twist of fate, is forced to collect a tax from his own wife to cremate the dead body of their own son. To uphold his truthfulness and loyalty to his master, he set aside even his deepest fatherly love. The world bows before that supreme purity of character even today. The story of Satya Harishchandra is a tale of the most difficult trials ever faced by a human being. In his time, he was renowned for his extreme honesty. His fame reached beyond earth, all the way to the heavens. Once an argument broke out among the gods regarding Harishchandra and his truthfulness. It eventually turned into a bet. So what if we can make Harishchandra to tell a lie? One challenged. Another went as far as to pledge that he would give up his own position if that happened. As a result of this heavenly contest, Harishchandra's period of great suffering began. He was a righteous king who ruled over a prosperous kingdom. A devoted wife and a virtuous son were his greatest support. However, that happiness did not last for a long time. While everything was going well, a sage arrived at the palace and asked for a massive amount of gold as a donation. Harishchandra happily agreed. The sage, however, said he would return later to collect the amount. The trial began. Suddenly, a severe famine struck the kingdom. Although the people were in deep distress, Harishchandra protected his subjects with amazing skill. He distributed food and water to so efficiently that not even a few people went without food. However, because of this, his treasury began to run empty. Once Harichandra had given away everything he possessed, the messenger of that sage arrived. He came with the sole intention of distressing Harichandra. The sage had asked for a heap of gold. The messenger argued that even the money gained from selling the kingdom would not be enough. Harishchandra gave his word that he would provide the promised gold and along with his wife and son if needed. Give me the gift you promised. Give it now, the messenger repeated, following them relentlessly. If Harishchandra had told just one small lie, he could have been free from all of this. He could have reclaimed his kingdom and temporary happiness. However, he knew that comfort built on a lie would only lead to a greater misery. Therefore, he chose the path of righteousness. Along the way, divine powers tested his honesty on various ways. For instance, sudden flames erupted across their path. A way to escape the fire was suggested. Harishchandra simply had to give a false name instead of his real name. But Harishchandra preferred to die rather than tell a lie. His noble wife, however, did something else. She prayed to the fire god, O fire god, if I have truly been a devoted and faithful wife, let this fire be extinguished at once. Instantly, the flames vanished. Yet the cruel messenger followed Harichandra like a hunting dog, demanding the promised gold. Finally, Harichandra had to sell everything, including himself, his wife, and his son. The gold obtained from this sale satisfied the messenger, as it was the massive heap the sage had demanded, and he finally left. Harichandra's wife was sold as a servant to a wealthy family, a situation, a situation created by the divine powers. Though she worked tirelessly, she was denied even enough food for herself and her young son. Harichandra was sold to the owner of a cremation ground. His job was to guard the site and collect taxes from those coming to cremate the dead body. His master, also influenced by the divine powers, made his life miserable. Despite this, Harichandra remained firm in his truthfulness, praying for a way to protect his family. Months passed, but his resolve stayed unshaken. One night, Harichandra saw a woman trying to cremate a body at the cemetery. Due to the illusions of the divine powers, he could not recognize that she was his own wife. He told her that he could not allow the cremation unless she paid the tax. Even though the ritual was about to start, he pushed the body away from the funeral pyre. The woman wept bitterly, saying that she did not have a single penny and would have paid if she could. She begged him to let her cremate her son, who had died from a snake bite. Though his eyes filled with tears of compassion, Harichandra felt helpless. Allowing her to cremate the body secretly would be a betrayal of his master and true. He said, You say you have no money, but I see a necklace around your neck. Give me that. That was the defining moment. The woman was shocked because of her virtue. Her wedding necklace, that is her thali, was invisible to everyone except her husband. Since Harichandra could see it, she realized that this man was her husband. The king, now reduced to a cemetery god. She burst into tears. Harichandra also realized who she was and wept over the lifeless body of his son. This was the final ultimate test. Would he betray his master to cremate his own son? He stood firm and said that no matter who she was or who had died, he was bound by his duty. He could not lie to his master since she had entered the grounds. She must pay the tax. Even the cruel cemetery owner arrived at that moment to watch. As Swami Vivekananda once said, "The committed to truth stands above all emotional bonds." Harichandra proved this here. The agony of a father forced to push his own son's body away from the funeral pyre is beyond human imagination. The cemetery owner ordered Harichandra to punish the woman for attempting to light the funeral pyre without paying the tax. The punishment was execution. As a servant, Harichandra could not disobey his master's command. This was the ultimate test of his righteousness. With a heavy heart, but determined to fulfill his duty, he raised his sword to strike. But then the miracle occurred. The sword he raised suddenly transformed into a beautiful garland of flowers. His son woke up as if from a deep sleep, and his wife began to glow with a divine radiance. All the heavenly powers that had been testing the family appeared. Harishchandra, his wife, and his son became the supreme symbols of honesty and virtue for this world. In an instant, all his struggles were forgotten. He was blessed with 100 times more prosperity, wealth, and peace than he had before. His kingdom became the most prosperous of all because Harishchandra refused to compromise his principles or yield to weakness under any circumstances. He and his family were granted health, peace, and eternal happiness. So, a clear consciousness is a soft pillow. As Bhagavatam says, Satyam Param Dhimahi. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे